All right, question number 2. If hospitalized, should I have somebody bring me whey protein?
I thought this was a funny question.
Not a silly question.
I liked it, yeah.
I mean, so when I was an intern, I did try to routinely order people double protein when I was putting in their nutrition, like Rex. So you have to put in orders for every patient you admit. And for diet, you pick, are they NPO, so they can't eat anything, or is it just, liquids or whatever? I would routinely put in double protein, and every time I would get a page, it'd be like,
the dietitian asking
why? And I'm like, I mean, look, they're at risk for sarcopenia. Like, I feel like this is, and they're like, no, this is wrong. Yeah, I mean, if I was hospitalized, I would try to eat more dietary protein. And I'm not saying that just because I'm like, protein or gains. It's just the thing is, the risk of like critical illness, myopathy, bed rest and its effect on your anabolic resistance, all of those sort of factors, in addition to not training, would all put you at a much higher risk for losing muscle tissue. And for most folks, especially those who don't have like a profound amount of extra muscle tissue to lose, having a concentrated source of dietary protein that is available to stimulate muscle protein synthesis and is also relatively low in calories and is easy to consume seems like a good deal. So if you can't get it in the hospital, because they would give you Ensure or something, or Boost or something like that,
yep,
which is effectively a protein shake that is low in protein.
with plenty of sugar in it.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's got calories, and so people can consume that. And I'm not saying that it's bad universally. I'm just saying that if you're if you're going to have the Ensure, like, I want the extra 20 grams of protein too.
Yeah.
So get you some whey.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's reasonable. On the other hand, the counter argument that I make frequently when we're talking about in-hospital diets, because I am involved in making these decisions frequently,
sure,
is that it's unlikely to make a big difference on people's long-term outcomes when most hospital stays are not going to be particularly long.
Sure.
If you're in an unfortunate situation where you're in the hospital for like 3 months, then sure, I can make an argument that it's going to make a big difference there. But I'll frequently, majority of the patients that I admit to the hospital are going to be in the hospital for, 3 days or less, most of them, and fewer are going to be there longer than that, and then the fewest are going to be there for like weeks to months on end. So somebody who's going to be in the hospital for a day or 2 days or 3 days, we're going to say, oh, they have heart disease, so we're going to put them on a heart healthy diet for a day in the hospital. I'm like, that doesn't really do anything. So I tend to not be super picky about that, because ultimately what it ends up doing is just restricting the patient's choices when they're in the hospital and they're already miserable enough. And there's no sense in my mind torturing them for something to give them like 2 meals that fit this criteria that really. So the bigger deal would be if we could get them to consume sufficient dietary protein in the weeks, months, and years leading up to the hospitalization. Yep. So they're super jacked when they go to the hospital, and they're at lower risk of in-hospital mortality, and arguably they don't need to potentially go into the hospital at all if the condition could have been averted. So I think that's far more important than worrying about an in-hospital diet, because most hospital stays are relatively short. But to the extent that you're going to be there for a while, as long as you don't have any reasons not to feed somebody's gut, then sure, you can give them some protein if they're going to be there for a while.
If you were going to be in the hospital for 7 days, you taking some whey?
Maybe. I'm not going to be going out of my way to get it, though.
No, but Lorraine's bringing you some whey.
Yeah,
probably that strawberry junk that you keep in the back of your pantry. Yeah, I know.